The purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to use the MedRx VRA module. If the module is not being displayed on your screen, you could go to the Settings wheel, under Modules, and Show Visual Reinforced Audiometry, and open up the VRA module. In the VRA, if you go up to your settings, you have some different options in here. In the VRA test settings, you could see selected stimulus length, response window, non-stimulus rate, reward length, rewards randomized, free field binaural. Free field binaural allows you to choose between having left and right or binaural as options in free field. If no is selected, the test will be able to perform separate left and right thresholds during free field testing. If yes is selected, the test will be fixed to binaural thresholds during free field testing. It is important to note the VRA test settings are determined inside of the iOS VRA application and cannot be adjusted in the MedRx Studio module. Down in Information, this allows you to easily determine your IP address to connect to your VRA app. There will be more on this later. In the Screen settings, this gives you some different options. You want to always keep Force Software Rendering on to prevent delays in video presentation. Select the number of screens you have for rewards. If you have more than one monitor, click Identify Screens to determine which screen you would like as your left and right rewards. This is also how you can determine your primary screen. Primary screen blackout is important if the primary screen is not being used for reward presentation and can be seen by the patient. To download the MedRx app on an iOS device, open up the App Store. In the search bar, type in MedRx IVRA. Search. The MedRx app will be displayed, and go and download it. Once it's downloaded, you could open up the software. To connect your iOS app, connect your computer and iPod to the same wireless network. Once they are connected, you will need to determine the IP address of the PC. In the test settings, under Information, click Identify IP address. The IP address you will need will be listed under network name: Wi-Fi. Open your MedRx VRA app. It will say Connection at the top. Enter the IP address, including periods, into the top bar labeled Server IP address. The default port number is 39063. Once you type in the port number, click Connect. After you click Connect, you should see the Connection Up, Handshake OK displayed on the iVRA app under Connection Status. The IP address will remain the same unless you change wireless networks or change PCs. You will need to click Connect at the beginning of every iVRA session. The MedRx Studio Software will indicate that you have successfully connected when the iOS icon in the VRA sidebar changes from red to green. VRA sidebar setup. The transducer selection is performed in the MedRx Studio software prior to beginning the VRA test. All transducers are inherited through the audiometry module. If you do not see a transducer you will like to use, then you will need to change the preferences in the audiometer module. Type of tone, including warble, pure tone, narrowband, continuous, and pulsed, is also set up in the MedRx Studio software prior to beginning the VRA test. The eye icon allows you to select past tests. You can find past VRA tests in this eye icon on the bottom of the screen. You have the option to view the test log or make it an overlay on your current test. To load the test as a current test, the file must be opened from the NOAA session. Logging of test selections are available through the MedRx Studio Software. To access the logs, click on the Log tab in the sidebar. This panel contains saved results from the iOS iVRA application. A detailed summary of the iVRA session, including test types, start and stop times, will be shown. All responses, no responses, false positives, and catch trials will appear here. In the app, there are a few options. Under Settings, the settings allow you to adjust the stimulus length, is how long the tones are presented in seconds. The response window is how many seconds post-stimulus in which a patient has to respond. Non-stimulus rate is how often catch trials are inserted. A catch trial is used to prevent false positives. When catch trials occur, you will present the stimulus as normal, but no sound will be presented to the patient. If a reward is given to the patient, there will be a warning sign that displays under the presentation level, and the reward will not play. If a reward is not given, a no audio icon will display. Reward length is the number of seconds to present the reward video. Rewards Randomise allows you to automatically randomize video reward presentations during testing. Masking signal for Clinician determines the masking type presented to the clinician through the iOS device headphones. Masking past end of stimulus determines how long after the stimulus ends the clinician will be under masking. Masking for the clinician can be used so there are no bias when judging the patient's responses. To utilize this feature, a standard set of headphones will need to be connected to the iOS device. Audio feedback allows you to toggle feedback to be played through headphones during automatic testing. Audio feedback volume determines which level the clinician will hear feedback through the iOS device. The iVRA conditioning is initiated through the iOS app. The iOS app in MedRx Studio must be connected for the testing to begin. Once the iOS app and MedRx Studio are connected, navigate to the Conditioning tab. Conditioning is a test mode used to habituate the patient into responding correctly to stimulus. It does not record thresholds and there are no catch trials. Conditioning allows multiple rewards to be played without presenting a stimulus. Rewards will be displayed on the side where stimulus was last presented. The reward screens will turn black when the Start Conditioning button is clicked. You may select presentation ear, frequency, level, video reward, and video to display. Note: setup for free fields can be found in the settings options. This will allow you the ability to select to perform separate left and right thresholds or turn on fixed binaural thresholds. Turning the free field binaural testing on will fix the thresholds to binaural. To present a stimulus, you will swipe left on the presentation level in the center of the screen. To record a response, swipe right. This will also display a reward. Rewards will always be displayed in the conditioning mode. Change the presentation levels by swiping up or down on the presentation level that is displayed. To exit the conditioning mode, you can hit back in the iOS app and immediately begin manual or automatic testing. If you would like to exit the conditioning mode from the PC, press and hold Shift and Escape. To begin manual testing, click the Manual button in the Test tab. When you click the Manual button, the reward screens will go black and the testing will be ready. You may select presentation ear, frequency, level, and video reward on the iOS app. To present a stimulus, you will swipe left on the presentation level in the center of the screen. To record a response, swipe right. This will also display a reward. Rewards will only be shown if the stimulus was presented. When reward randomized is off, there will be a selection of 53 reward stimulus to choose from. You will manually determine what stimulus will be presented. This option is located in the iOS app under Settings. When a stimulus is presented correctly, a black check will appear under the level indicating a successful response. If a patient does not respond to the stimulus and no reward is presented, there will be a red X displayed under the decibel level. In manual mode, you will need to change the presentation level by swiping up or down on the decibel level that is displayed. When a catch trial occurs, you will present the stimulus as normal, but no sound will be presented to the patient. If a reward is given to the patient, there will be a warning sign that displays under the presentation level, and the reward will not play. If a reward is not given, a no audio icon will display. To record a threshold, double tap the number in the center of the screen. The threshold will be displayed under the corresponding frequency. In More on the top right of the iOS app, there are several additional options available. When Delete HL is selected, this will discard the specific frequency threshold on your test ear. Delete All HLs will discard all frequency thresholds for both ears. Clear Current History will delete all logging information at the specific frequency and decibel level on your test ear. Clear All History will delete all logging information for both ears. Be sure to click Send in the top right of the iOS app when testing is complete. Sending this information transfers the test results from the iOS app into the MedRx VRA Studio Software. To exit the manual test mode, you will hit Quit in the iOS app. Be sure your test results are saved prior to exiting. If you would like to exit the manual test mode from the PC, press and hold Shift and Escape. To begin automatic testing, click the Automatic button in the Test tab. When you click the Automatic button, the reward screens will go black and the testing will be ready. You may select presentation ear, frequency, starting level, and video reward. Note: presentation level is automatically adjusted during the automatic test mode until a threshold is determined. Only the starting level can be adjusted. Starting presentation levels can be changed by swiping up or down on the decibel level that is displayed. Once automatic testing has begun for a frequency, the levels can no longer be manually adjusted. These will adjust automatically based on the recorded responses until a threshold is found. To present a stimulus, we'll swipe left on the presentation level in the center of the screen. To record a response, swipe right. This will also display a reward. Rewards will only be shown if a stimulus is presented. Rewards are not displayed during catch trials. When reward randomized is off, there will be a selection of 53 reward stimulus to choose from. You will manually determine what stimulus will be presented. This option is located in the iOS app under Settings. When a stimulus is presented correctly, a black check will appear under the level indicating a successful response. When a catch trial occurs, you will present a stimulus as normal, but no sound will be presented to the patient. If a reward is given to the patient, there will be a warning sign that displays under the presentation level, and the reward will not play. If a reward is not given, a no audio icon will display. Presentation level will change automatically depending on patient responses. Thresholds are recorded automatically in this test mode. Once a patient's threshold is determined, a lock will appear on the decibel level, resulting in the threshold being recorded. Once a threshold is determined for a frequency, you can no longer test at that frequency. Be sure to click Send in the top right of the iOS app when testing is complete. Saving the information transfers the test results from the iOS app into MedRx Studio Software. To exit the automatic test mode, you can hit Quit in the iOS app. Be sure that your test results are saved prior to exiting. If you would like to exit the automatic test mode from the PC, press and hold Shift and Escape.